Having women that suddenly disappear from you via text is something that every man at one point or another has experienced. And if you're somebody who's on the learn success with women path, probably honestly dozens of times. But let's first explain the word itself. What is ghosting? Ghosting is when one individual stops texting another person, ceases communication completely, either blocking or simply dropping off the face of the earth, as if you two had never had a conversation before. Men take this personally. We obviously take it as a slight, and a lot of us have trauma around this subject. Maybe you're really into somebody, and then the rug was pulled out from underneath you. But I want you to take your emotions out of the equation, take the idea of blame out of the equation, and to treat it as a problem with a pragmatic solution. Let's get honest here. There are some very valid reasons for a girl to ghost a guy. A lot of incentivizations with little to no accountability. And for women, an infinite amount of options of strangers to choose from, and no negative backlash from men that feel their egos have been wounded. However, this does leave us men in the dark. Why did the girl decide to stop texting me? How could I have improved? So in this video, I hope to clear up this confusion and give you the answers you need. My name is Denton Fisher. I've been in the men's dating industry now for 13 years. I worked as a coach for multiple different companies. So in this video, I'm gonna give you these 7 reasons that girls ghost you and the solutions to mitigate it and even prevent it altogether.
It was like I forgot about my past and I have made it to this. Left the memories from when I was still scraping the ditch.
Reason number 1 that girls ghost is because of roster ADHD. Yes, girls have rosters. And those of you men who've been improving at this or who have good results with women, you probably have a roster too. If you're a single person, this just makes sense. You're taking advantage of the market and you're trying to choose the best option. It's fun to date around. It's a lot of fun to experience different types of individuals. And the big thing is that when you have a massive roster, unfortunately, some people slough off at the bottom. If you're texting with a girl and she suddenly falls off, sometimes this is the case. Sometimes you were part of the roster, she thought you were cute, but there's guys that she is more attuned with, more attracted to, more that feel maybe her attachment style, her pattern of dating. And those guys are taking the place of you. Maybe they're even an ex-partner or somebody that has a lot more investment in. Maybe some guy came back into the picture that she had a lot of experience with. And experience is a big deal in terms of dating. The more a girl invests in a guy, the more her ego will align with that guy. And the second that guy comes back into play, you're shoved out. Sometimes it's even almost a slingshot effect, where a guy, a narcissist, feels that he's losing a girl to another guy, which it might be you. And so he starts hooking her back in, pulling her back in by showing her affection, attention, texting her more often, because now you're taking his toy and he wants his toy back. Yes, and by the way, some narcissistic women do this as well. Number 2, she wanted a one-night stand and nothing else. Maybe you gave her signs that you might be looking at her as a side chick, or that you're not ready to date yourself, or she knows herself well, and she knows that she isn't ready. You didn't come across like boyfriend material, and thus she knows that it's about sex and nothing else. If she was to invest time and energy into you and fall for you, you're just gonna hurt her. So she'll get the sex out of the way, have the fun time with you, but then never text you back. Or maybe you guys didn't even have sex and she still felt this way, and she felt that the sex would get her attached to you, and she doesn't want to be attached to somebody who's going to hurt her. Which takes me to number 3, attachment issues. Sometimes girls are very chased away when guys are too on them. Some girls have an avoidant attachment style, and when you're so all over them, it scares them off. Or maybe you're too distant with her, and she has learned that a guy who's distant is not somebody who's taking her seriously, and so she cuts him off. Number 4, to get over an ex. This is similar to number 2. She knows that she's not ready yet. She's still attached to the guy. She's not ready to date anybody seriously, but she's open to having sex with somebody so that she can dampen the emotions of this harsh breakup. And it does help. It does help for a girl to have sex with a guy, and it helps for men as well. I've noticed this in myself, that I will try to get over a relationship faster by having sex. And it's not the healthiest thing to do, but everybody goes through that stage at one point or another. And so she ghosts you because she isn't ready yet to date seriously. Number 5, she's in a relationship, but she's cheating. So she only gives you a phone number. She only gives you Snapchat, but she won't give you an Instagram, Facebook, anything of those sorts. Oftentimes because there is a boyfriend on the side she doesn't want you seeing. And if she's going to do something with you or she's going to flirt with you, she doesn't want him finding out. She wants to get her emotional cheating or physical cheating in, or both. And then she wants to cut ties, let loose, and go back to her dude, go back to her guy. And if you were to find out, you might be able to contact him, tell him, hey, your girlfriend's cheating on you, and she doesn't want that. So she ghosts you. Number 6, She has a negative connotation towards you. Connotation, by the way, is the emotional attachment you have to an item, word, or idea. And she has a negative emotion attached to you, whether it be anger, sadness, whether it's disgust. There's something that is a negative emotion that she attaches to you that is making her repel in the opposite direction. It's oftentimes something you did, sometimes nothing could have controlled, but maybe it's something along the lines of she got mad at you for some perceived slight that you didn't mean in that way. Women are very sensitive to this kind of stuff. And women are also they speak between the lines instead of saying exactly what they're thinking. And so they look to us to be doing the same thing, thinking that we're playing the same games they are. And so you said something, you didn't mean it in a certain way, or you offended her, and now she cuts ties with you, doesn't talk to you again. Maybe it's something along the lines of something she has her ego invested in, whether it be religion, whether it's politics. You were aligned with something in that regards where she very much identifies with. And now because you become adjacent to it, she can no longer date you. Maybe you gave her the ick or a creepy feeling, or maybe she didn't feel safe around you. She didn't feel the authenticity. Maybe you came across in a way that was dweeby, weak, not high value, not high status. And for that reason, now she's no longer attracted to you and she goes to you. Women are also very good at holding grudges and being mad. And sometimes they'll even create stuff in their head where they see something again as you didn't have their back, or maybe somebody said you said something that you didn't say, or maybe they thought you were doing something that you weren't doing, and now they're mad at you. They're going to hold a grudge, and now they're pissed at you. Now they're never going to talk to you again, because women are very good at holding grudges. Number 7, and honestly the most heartfelt version of this, is that they don't want to hurt you. So they feel that you're getting attached really fast, and they know that they're not ready for it yet, or that they don't want anything serious from this. And for that reason, they back out and they ghost you, not because they're trying to hurt you, but because they're trying to protect you. Now, here are some ways to mitigate and even prevent ghosting altogether. So coming from the ideas that I've mentioned above, you understand why they're incentivized to do it. Now, let's focus on what you can do. Messaging her over a polished Instagram versus text message. Please, for the love of God, stop fucking doing this. Please work on your Instagram. I know it's vapid. I know that you're not that kind of guy, but it's such a valuable tool in terms of dating. You have to do it. If you're a pragmatic person who cares about his results, start working on it. A lot of this dating experience is just timing. And if you have her over text, she's going to remember you for 3 days to a week, maybe 2 weeks if you have really good game. But if you get her on Instagram, she's going to remember you for years afterwards. And sometimes your Instagram can even sell her in a direction of wanting to talk to you longer. Here are some common mistakes I see a lot of guys doing that are really easy. I mean, set up clear times to meet up. Text her an hour out from the date, 2 hours out from the date, tell her you're going to be 10 minutes late so that you can see if she's going to show up herself. Before leaving an interaction, if you got this girl's information from a cold approach, get the date set up there and then. Don't try to do it over text. Close the deal on the high point of the sale. Don't be needy, don't be thirsty. Let her do favors for you. The more she invests, the more time she invests, the more that she verbalizes that she likes you, the more that she verbalizes you guys get along, the more she talks about attributes she likes in regards to you, the better off you're going to be. Don't be afraid to take a favor. Don't be afraid for her to pay for dinner. Don't be afraid for her to spend time with you. Your time is valuable. The higher value you are, the lower the chances of flaking altogether. I've been doing this for a long time, and the more in the pocket I am or a client is, the more confident and resolute we are, the flake rate goes through the floor. And if you're really out of it, if you don't game that much, if you're generally speaking low self-esteem and you don't feel very high value in your energy, the girls are going to flake you. It's not about looks, it's not about this, it's not about that. It's about the fact that you don't believe in yourself. And the more arrogant you can come across, honestly, the more confident you are, the less likely you are to get flaked. You're acting like somebody that is higher value than her. And high value equals attraction. And if you're acting as if you are below her in value, which a lot of you guys are, she's not going to be attracted. She's not attracted to low value, she's attracted to high value. Things like having cool girls around you, cool friends, these will lower flake rates. A leader of men and wanted by women. Making sure your hygiene, your fashion, your body is on point, taking care of yourself, all these things matter. And if you guys want any coaching, you can text me up at 702-841-9909. And with that being said, peace.
Yeah, and we're still doing it and on the stage, saving lives with every crazy rhyme we wrote on the page. Still repping my home where I go, and that is shown on my face. We're both known to be the greatest set of Rome in that state. And I know I made decisions I wasn't hoping to make. I hit a bloke in the face for the wall he chose to the face. A total disgrace that I put him in a coma for days. For the judge to take my freedom and then